Hey folks, Ram Nation 58, Bob Moffitt, Red's Welding Supply. Out here at Las Vegas International Speedway. Been watching these drags, top fuel, funny car, running 4 wide. Right now, I'm getting ready to witness a jet car. I got a tip for you beginning welders. You gotta follow your gut, follow your passion. Learn to pay it forward. Everybody's got a voice in their gut. You listen to yours, okay? You strive to learn about everything you possibly can. And try to protect your craft. Work within yourself. Do good things. Again, pay it forward.
Hey everyone, and happy National Welding Month. Danae Bushcutter here. I wanted to give my #1 tip for anyone that's interested in the welding industry, and that would be to practice and never stop learning. How you become a better welder is by practicing, putting hours behind that hood, looking through that little window, and not closing yourself off to learning something new. The welding industry is always changing, and so to stay on top of the ever-changing world of the welding industry, you've got to be open-minded and willing to learn. So there's my #1 tip. It's kind of like 2 tips, but you get the drift. And happy National Welding Month.
How's it going, guys? Chris here from Art Metal Fab. One of the biggest tips that I have for beginner welders is to just clean your metal. When it comes from the factory, it's got pretty nasty cuts on it. It has paint. Get it down to the bare steel. Get that mill scale off of there and just weld right on the bare steel, and you'll get much nicer welds. Bevel it a little bit if you can. That way when you grind, if you want to grind flush, it'll be penetrated better and you will have some nice welds. Have a good one, guys.
Hey guys, Austin Hill here with Edge Army. I was asked to give a beginner the best tip I have. And one of the greatest tips I have is to get comfortable whenever you're welding. One of the biggest factors to messed up welds or just laying down a weld that you're not absolutely happy with is the fact that you're not comfortable whenever you're going, whenever you're actually laying the weld down. Figure out a way to rest your hands, rest your wrists. Figure out a way to slide your hands whenever you're doing a straight weld. Anything to just get your wrists set up and your arms set up so you can be as comfortable as possible so you can actually get the beads you want to get whenever you're welding.
Hi, this is James West with Edge Welding Cups. The beginning's the hard part. Don't get discouraged.
Hello everybody, Dusty from Pacific Arc TIG Welding here. What's going on? Quick bit of advice for any beginners out there looking to get into some TIG welding, and this is the same advice I always give my online students or people I work with in person, and that advice is start simple. I talk about this all the time on my YouTube channel. One of the most common mistakes when people are first getting going is they start to try and learn stuff that's too difficult. People get caught on stuff that's too difficult. They develop bad habits, they get frustrated, and they don't want to continue learning. So keep it simple. Start with exercises on just flat plate, like this stuff I got right here. Just practice on getting stuff on flat plate. Perfect every time, and then by that time, you're ready to move on to more challenging stuff. So that's my bit of advice for anybody looking to get going.
G'day guys, James from the Edge Army here. Some advice for beginners. As you're taking on the journey of trying to figure out how to weld steel, aluminum, whether it's TIG, MIG, stainless, you're gonna see all these beautiful welds on social, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, wherever, you're gonna see them. Set that as your goal as to what you want to achieve, and get frustrated when you lift your hood up and your weld doesn't look anything like it. Make that frustration, turn it into a passion to keep practicing, get that hood time in. Remember, every one of those beautiful welds you saw posted, there were probably 7, 8 welds before that one that didn't make the cut. Use that as fuel to fire up your passion and get you to where you want to be.
For all you beginners out there, just want to say, there's always time to use the correct PPE, jackets, gloves, hood. Don't ever get in so big of a rush that you forget to put it on, and then you end up either hurting your eyes, burning yourself, or hurting yourself. Not worth it. Especially if you're trying to weld today, and then you got to weld tomorrow and the next day. So, good tip for the day.
When you're welding a lap joint, don't center yourself to the workpiece. This will restrict your range of motion, forcing you to turn your body. Position yourself so your right shoulder lines up with the end of your joint. This will allow you to bring your arm into your ribs and give you full range of motion. The next tip, we'll be talking about your tungsten to filler angle. We want to keep a 90-degree angle between our filler rod and our tungsten. This will prevent your filler rod from balling up on you.
Hi, it's Big Bug Marty, and I'm here today with Edge Army to give some tips to a beginner welder. Today we're going to talk about tungsten stick out. Basically, when I'm asked at work from the new guys, how much stick out should I use on my torch for my tungsten, I always told them that a good average is use the ID diameter of your cup. Let's say I have a number 8. It's half of an inch ID, approximatively. So I told them to use a quarter of an inch to half of an inch stick out. So if I got a number 15 or 16, it's going to be a half 1 inch or number 15.93. I'm going to use half of 0.93 to 0.93 stick out. Keep in mind that it's not, you can go lower easily. You can go higher, stick out, longer stick out, if you do know how to crank up calibrate your flow. But the sweet spot with the recommended flow from the manufacturer, I always find that it's between half to the size, ID size of your cup.
Hey, it's Weld Zombie. If I could give any tip to a newcomer, I would have to say, don't be intimidated when going into a shop. A lot of people get intimidated and just lose it.
Hey guys, my name is Lars from the Edge Army. My tip for all welding beginners is only practice makes perfect. When you weld frames, always weld the seams from inside out. I hope this tip helps you. Greeting from Germany. Ciao.
Tyler Caton here, aka I Go Welding here, and just like a tip for anyone who's trying to get into the field or industry. If you're a beginner and you're really not sure what you want to do or what interests you specifically about welding, I would suggest trying out as many things as possible, many processes, different types of joints, different types of materials. Research, reach out to local companies if you want to stay within the area, see what kind of work is available to you when you get out of school, or what kind of apprenticeships are going to be offered that you can go and do for a company. Or if you want to travel somewhere, go somewhere, there's tons of traveling jobs. So, start looking at that and researching really what interests you, and get some contacts out there, even across just the, Instagram community alone. Reach out, talk to people. There's lots of people that are willing to help and talk to you, and, really try to think about your future and what drives you.
Hey everyone, Jesse McCollum here with a little quick tip for newbie or beginner welders. And that would be learn your machine. I talk to a lot of people that are having an issue with the machine, or they don't understand something, and it's causing them problems simply because they don't know the functions, they don't understand the functions of their equipment. There's a reason for owner's manuals, and a lot of the manuals have some really good explanations of what these features do. So read your owner's manual, try to understand those features first, and then experiment with them. When you've got some time, get some scrap, try some different functions and features at different ranges and see what they do. Sometimes finding out what doesn't work will tell you a lot more than finding out what does. It's but that would be my tip. Just learn your machines, experiment with the settings, and find something that works for you, and not always, relying on settings from other people. Welding's a lot like baking. So, I have a chocolate chip cookie recipe, you have yours. Mine has more salt, yours has more vanilla, that one has more brown sugar. But at the end of the day, it's still a good cookie. And that's kind of the way to think about welding settings, where everybody's got a little bit different recipe, and the one that works for somebody else or the one that they like might not work for you. So learn your machines, understand them. It'll help you more than anything else.
My name is Johnny Dabbs, and my #1 piece of advice for beginners is practice makes perfect.
Yo, this is A-Hobbs here, and I'm here with Edge Army, and I was asked if I was to give any type of advice or tip to a new welder, what would it be? For me, there's lots of different ones. I still feel very new myself because there's always something to learn. But if I was to give any advice to a new welder, one that I got from a buddy of mine a long time ago, his name is Derek, and what he told me was to lock my wrist out, right? Locking your wrist out allows you to keep your lines straight and not jitter jatter or whatever, zigzag all over the place if you're trying to make a straight line. That seemed to work for me when I'm really trying to be on something that's perfectly straight. Hopefully it helps you.
Hi guys, I'm Jerry with the Edge Army, and my #1 tip for beginner welders is to not let the bad days stop you, because there's going to be quite a few of them, and it's going to feel really tough to keep going sometimes, but it's worth it, especially when you achieve your dreams. So keep going, stay strong, and stay positive.
What's up guys, Brad White here at ArcLife Fab on Instagram. On behalf of Edge Welding Cups, I wanted to pass on a little bit of knowledge to y'all, or some tips for beginning welders. Fail a lot. There's more knowledge in knowing what not to do than knowing exactly what to do. So if you fail 100 times, you learn 100 times more than the one time that you succeed. It's just something that I've always lived by, something I go by. Well, that's not how that's gonna go. Let's redo it and try again. Pretty much that way, and then you'll figure out different ways and start to be able to see how to go about things and how to navigate stuff. Take care, keep going on, reach out if you have any questions. We're all here for you.